dearest viewers out there, good morning and welcome back to our daily. I have the honor to Madam Chair. Madam Chair, over to you.
I will now call on Honorable Sila to lead us in Muslim prayers and Honorable Joyner to lead us in Christian prayers. Thank you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين الله خير الإبصار وهو أرحم الرحيم نصر قريب وبشر المؤمنين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, this morning as I contemplate a new day, I ask you to help me. I want to be aware of your Spirit, leading me in the decisions I take, the conversations I have, I do. I want you to be more like you, Jesus, as you relate to the people I meet today, friends or strangers. We pray that all will be well for the final. Amen.
Thank you. Registrar, can you please call the witness?
Good morning, Mr. Witness, number 1 and number 2. To our daily proceedings from Monday to Thursday of this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government and Councils. Please sit down, Mr. Tambura, while I remind you about the oath you took to make this commission. With number 2, may I remind you that you are still on the oath. Madam Chair, for continuation of our proceedings of the day, may I yield the floor to you. Over to you, Madam Chair.
Good morning, Mr. Tamura, and you are welcome back. I hope that your health has improved.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And good morning, Mr. Sanya.
Good morning.
We are happy to have you back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Council, can we proceed, please?
Good morning, honorable commissioners. Mr. Tamura Sanya, you're welcome. May I have the registrar to show you the file 2 of 18. Both of them. Yes, so please tell us what that file is for. I believe it is for the mayor.
Yes.
Now, can you refer yourself to the letter dated the 4th of October 2018 on that file? You will find it at the back of the file.
That before the standard evaluation report, or?
No, 4th October 2018. You will find it close to the Now, just
sorry, yes.
Yes. What is that data about? To your office, or is it just, who is it addressed to?
To suppliers.
Tell us more about that data.
The council, I read, council would like to procure the above type of vehicle for the Lord Mayoress, whose official vehicle is in a bad condition. Attached to this is a set of technical specifications developed for the above type of official vehicle being procured. The council presently facing constraints. As a result, we are soliciting for the above arrangement, which would allow the council to make an upfront payment of 40% of the cost of the vehicle and the remaining 60% payable over 4 months period, 30% each installment. Submission of bids should be by 12 noon on the 19th of October 2018. The bid documents are $1,000 is charged.
Now, that application for procurement seems to be through, let's say, restricted tendering. Is that correct? Method was used for that particular procurement.
Yes, it's restricted tendering.
Can you refer us to the application for that method of procurement? Just refer yourself to the contracts committee meetings, the minutes of the contracts committee.
Yes, data number 20.
Yes, exactly.
Addressed to the Director General, GPP. We request for your approval of procurement method and bidding document for the procurement of one 4x4 station wagon vehicle. We are also requesting to shorten the bidding period to 15 days. Fine attached.
It is supposed to be when a procuring organization is applying for a particular method to be approved. Is that
very relevant to this procurement method?
So which forms are attached?
One, you have a bidding document.
Yes. Do you have?
I have seen a bidding document, but normally a request like this will, apart from the bidding document, there's supposed to be a reporting form.
Yes.
For restricted tender, minutes of the contracts committee, and Form 012, which is the declaration by members of the contracts committee.
Yes, but how about the justification for RT? How about the justification for restricted tender? Should it not be contained in the letter for the application letter?
Like I said earlier, this is a covering letter. The justification can come in the minutes of, suppose it is provided, it can be captured in the minutes of the meeting at which they met and agree to what they are doing.
No, the minutes of the contracts committee probably may outline the justification for the use of a particular method. But notwithstanding, the application to use a particular method should, especially when that method is not the most preferred method, should actually be entailed in the application letter.
Sometimes, but in some instances, the justification will come in the minutes of the contracts committee where they deliberate, argue, disagree to agree.
Should the application
and also followed by a reporting form for the restricted tender where you can even indicate how the suppliers are identified.
Which reporting form are you referring to? To be more specific.
Sorry, can I come in here, Council?
Please, yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you. As regards the justification, there is no fast rule as to exactly where it should be. Look at the forms. For restricted tender, there is a form called record tender.
Yes.
If you look at that form, about clause 2 or 3, it asks what is your justification for the use of restricted tender. So it means even that portion you can indicate your justifications. Aside, the health procurement is about collective work. I expect that if the contracts committee sits and discuss their agreed course of action, and the most important for this one would be the justification for the use of restricted tender. It is also normally captured. There are instances when cover letters can also summarize the justification, but there are instances when the cover letter does not capture the justification.
So where you the forms been attached, like this one in the application, should the application not include or contain the justification for the use of a particular method?
Regardless of the circumstances, there must be a justification for the use of a particular method.
That is my point. My point is we don't see that form being attached. Unless you see it, you can refer me to the form. But in the absence of that form, stating the reasons for using tendering, are you telling me now that the application should not contain that?
No, I think what exactly I really wanted to put across is the justification can also be captured in the minutes of the contracts committee. Normally, in practice, once we are able to get that, because this is the minutes signed by all those present during the meeting. The cover letter sometimes is given to somebody who is not even aware of the process, just to write. But the minutes to us contain more weight, because that's what is signed by almost everybody present in the meeting.
Now let us examine the minutes we have.
Okay.
Can you refer us to the minutes of the contracts committee? Because the minutes we have did not provide either any justification.
Okay. Yeah, that's the expectation that it should have.
Yes, I am now telling you that the one we have in that file does not provide any justification for the use of RT. So that is why I am saying the application should contain any justification. Do you see the contracts committee meeting? What is the date of the contracts committee meeting?
The date is on the 19th October.
Please speak louder. Use the microphone.
The date here is 19th of October. Yes, so 2018.
Exactly. We will now see something very interesting in those minutes. Now tell us, read us the first 2-3 paragraphs of the minutes.
The CEO,
yes,
with the usual customary prayers, he explained the meeting and allowed participants to introduce themselves. He then proceeded to display all the bits that were tendered, showing that they were sealed. Okay.
That is not the minutes. You are reading the minutes of the meeting, probably post
yes,
at the beginning.
Exactly.
You go back to at the back file of the file. You will see the minutes initiating the application for the use of a particular method. They should be. Do you see it? If you don't see it, I can help you to locate the minutes.
Can you help, please?
Do you see it?
No. No, Council.
Now, while we are committee meeting, now tell me, what is the standard requirement for the approval of the use of RT? When do you such a request?
Council, basically, there are conditions for the use or for the adoption. In this particular instance, is restricted tender. As per the law, there are conditions for the use of restricted tender, and normally, if any of these conditions is met, the considers given approval.
So now, but then the most preferred method is for open tender.
Yes, Council.
And so you only use the other methods, especially RT method, when probably the goods to be supplied are really, they only exist with few probably customers or suppliers in the market? One of the instances?
Yeah, one of the conditions is they exist within a limited number of suppliers known to US.
That are known to the procuring organization.
Exactly, Council.
Now, the minutes of the contracts committee, which I just turned for your attention, do you see it?
Yes, Council.
Yes. What is the date on that minutes?
5th September 2018.
Yes. Please tell us the introduction of that.
The minutes, after the attendance, we have the Mustafa Bachili, Mohammed Cham, the Acting Director of Finance, and Karim Toure, the Director of Planning, and Omar Toure, Deputy Mayor, and Pa Babu Cham, Councillor. We have the agenda, inauguration of a new contracts committee.
Please use the microphone and speak louder.
Okay, Councillor. The agenda is the new contracts committee, then purchase of a new mayor's vehicle, opening prayers. The chief executive officer, in his opening remarks, welcomed members and thanked them. He congratulated the councillors for being selected as members of the contracts committee. That's first point. The second point, he informed the committee that the purpose of the meeting was to introduce the members of the committee to each other and to inform us all of the high importance that the committee has in the overall operation of the council. Next point, he further informed the committee that the present mayor vehicle, though it has, but it's now for a replacement because the vehicle 2011 is still in good condition because of regular service we are always done. Raise a concern that if GPPA would allow council to purchase a new vehicle for the Lord Mayor without agreeing to dispose of the present vehicle.
Now, just before you proceed, now we see the reason as to why they want to purchase the vehicle. Is that not the case?
Yes, according to the letter here. Yes.
And the reason is because the vehicle was purchased in 2011?
Exactly.
And that will probably be in 2018. Is it 2018?
Yes.
Yes. So now, did they indicate anything regarding the state of the vehicle, whether it is in a bad condition or good condition to warrant the purchase of a new vehicle?
Yeah, I have not finished the minutes yet, but so far I have not seen that.
No, but what have you seen?
what I have read, I have not finished reading the minutes, I mean.
No, we will proceed on that. The paragraph you read earlier was about the state of the vehicle.
Yes, the vehicle is in a good conditions due to regular maintenance.
Regular maintenance.
Yes.
But we have seen a correspondence earlier when they said the vehicle is in fact in a bad condition. Is that not the case? The letter addressed to all the suppliers. Did you not read that letter where they indicate that the reason being is that the vehicle was in a bad condition?
I have not read that letter yet.
We had read the letter dated the 4th of October 2018.
Okay.
Did you forget?
Yeah, just confirm in the letter.
Yes, wherein it was indicated that the vehicle was in a bad condition. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, Council.
Sayang? Yes. But now the letter addressed to GPPA is informing you that the vehicle is in a good condition.
Yes, Council.
Now, in the absence of having the application, for the use of a particular method, stating the ground as to why they want to procure a vehicle, and by the way, the vehicle amount is probably 3.5 million or 4 million. Can you tell us?
Estimate.
Yes. So that is it. Now, where you are informed, you told us that the contracts committee meetings would probably be the most important working document for you to either approve or disapprove a particular application. Is that not correct?
Yes, that's one of the most critical things we consider. Definitely.
So going by that indication, would that be a sufficient ground to approve or disapprove?
Sorry, Council, before he answers that question.
Yes.
Mr. Tamura, I just want to find out whether the letter dated the 4th of October.
Yes.
From that letter, we can see that the Director General of GPPA was copied. The time is the 9th, it is the 5th of September. GPPA had of the letter dated the 4th of October. So when you were taking your decision to approve, did you take into consideration the content of the letter dated the 4th of October? Yeah. This is in pursuant to what Council is asking with respect to the information that you receive.
Yes. Which
inform your decision to approve.
Yes. Normally we consider the dates. We normally consider the dates.
No, this is not about the dates, but it's about the content of the letters that were conveyed to you. Yes. On the 4th, they conveyed to you the reason why they want higher purchase and the reason why they want they have written to, because this, you were copied. Yes. And the different suppliers were copied. Yes, and in that letter they gave conditions. They gave the condition, the reason. Yes. Why they wanted to procure. My question is, were you able, when you were giving the decision of approval, were you able to look at the content of the letter dated the 4th and the information given on the contracts committee minutes?
Yes, Chair. As a matter of practice, this is routine. That's what we do when we are or taking a decision. That's what we do. That's the general simple rule. Okay. That's what we do. So, but it's about years ago, maybe vividly recalling maybe an issue, but that's a general norm that we do, sincerely speaking.
So, do you think, looking at the documentation now, would you be in a position to have approved?
Okay, here, because we have to understand.
No, Mr. Tamura, the question is now, you just answer yes or no. If it is yes, why yes? If it is no, because to any answer there are, maybe to any situation there are two sides of the coin. So I said, given the correspondences, would you have, because in this transaction you granted approval, right? Yes. So now I'm saying, given the situation now, looking at the contracts committee meeting and the letter dated the 4th of October, would you have granted approval?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Tell us why.
My understanding, our understanding here is, the request here was for the method.
Yes.
The request was for the use of a particular procurement method.
Yes.
And I think that's what Ma is referring to.
Okay.
Yes. So, not about the condition of the vehicle, etc., but the use of the method.
No. Let me clarify. And I stand to be corrected.
Okay.
I'm wrong in appreciating the concepts.
Okay.
But my understanding is that if a PO applies and you have to look at justification as to why, and not also the justification. If you grant that method, the justification of you granting the method is to allow the PO to go ahead and do the transaction they are asking for. So in this instant, if, for instance, the transactions that they are asking that they be allowed to engage in, if it is a wrong transaction or if it is not correct, still go ahead and grant, you understand, approval?
No, ma.
All right. Cancel the process.
Yes, because application to use a particular method generally will depend on whether the requirements for the particular method are being met. Is that not correct? In this case, is it correct to say there were no sufficient reasons for the use of RC?
Yes, Council, from what we have just discovered here.
Okay, now again, it was approved. The method was approved. Is that not the case?
Yes, Council.
What is who approves these applications generally at your level?
Is the Director General.
Is that role being assigned to any of the directors?
Normally, at director's level, once the files are treated from the action officer, it comes to the director's level for review, and finally to the Director General. But in particular instances for approval, given approval, it is only the Director General.
But we see these approvals are being for the Director General.
Yes.
Is it the case that it's only a matter of practice, but then usually approvals are being granted without the knowledge of the Director General at some point?
Without the knowledge of the Director General?
Yes. Does that exist?
Not to my knowledge,
because
most of these things, they are sent to the Director General as drafts finally.
Because most of the
time... is there evidence to show in your modus operandi, like, is there any format or something in place in your office which shows that when a file goes, request? Do you have that?
Yes.
File transaction, that is what happens.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, you can proceed.
Do you share that same opinion, that same view? Is that the practice?
Yes.
You seem to be not sure. What is the practice actually in the office? Is it all transactions are being approved by the Director General?
Actually, as per our service transactions.
No, forget the rules. The actual practice. The actual practice. All these approvals
must have passed through the Director General.
No, not passed through. Are they being approved by the Director General?
Yes.
If they have been approved by the Director General, then why is he not signing the approvals?
Whoever signs on behalf of the Director.
Which means that the Director General is not present. You only sign. You only are given. You only act for someone when they are not present. Is that not the case?
That is how we do it at GPP. Anyway.
No, is that not the case? When you sign for someone, when you sign for Mr. Tambura,
present, but when arranged, assumes responsibility.
Procedure GPPA is so much relaxed, so much, because that's what we see in all the files, so much so that all it is business as usual. All these applications are being signed, either by someone else, and there are no indication that they are approved. An individual is being given authority to sign on behalf.
Okay. Council, let me just expand here a little so that
yes.
the commissioner will appreciate. In practice, because that's the question, in practice, whether the Director General is present or absent, we sign on his behalf. So here, all these letters signed are signed on behalf of the Director General, and when he is present, except if he travels, for example.
Yes.
And when he travels, normally he hands over to one of the directors. But apart from that, it has.
Well, let us give, we don't know whether it's Nawek. Let us find out and give them 2 minutes before we rise. Mr.
Good morning.
We are back again to bring you another brand new edition of the Good Morning.